Now, before I created this video, I wanted to make sure I was one of the many people that was part of the pre-order club. Yeah, that means that I was like, okay, because I wanted to make sure I was locked in to get a pre-order, because I didn't want to just be talking about something, oh, I'm going to get it, and then I just don't get it. Usually when I talk about like a handheld or anything like that, best believe I'm trying to go for it, or I already got it, or I already pre-ordered it, because, you know, I mean, there's a lot of things that we could talk about, but is we gonna get it or not? But at the same time, the Neo Geo AES Plus console. Now, check this out. What gets me is like when they have like a ring to that, because if you go back to like the Atari 2600 Plus, the Atari 7800 Plus, so to me, and when it comes down to it, they're putting that their plus to it. This is just my opinion, y'all. My opinion is that the fact is these are like remade consoles to where that they have that same name, but it's probably like some added enhancements to it to where that it's probably better for the newer age, like the HDMI plugs and stuff like that, the better resolution, and they cleaned up some stuff. They took the time out and just recrafted the idea of a nostalgic console. And to me, some companies probably need to take a few notes. Now remember, this is all just my opinion. I'm just excited about it, so I'm just gonna talk about it for a bit. So I might repeat myself in some cases, so just bear with me for a bit. All right, let's get started. What is going on, you guys? Your boy Famous Kid Video Game Entertainment. And before we go any further, make sure you hit the subscribe button. Click like, subscribing. It's always a big help. In the 90s, arcades was off the chain. They just put it out there like that, okay? And the biggest thing when it came down to arcade is the Neo Geo arcade. I mean, from Metal Slug to King of Fighters or Fatal Fury. Oh my goodness, that was the game right there. And also games like Samurai Showdown. Those was the games right there when it came down to playing some Neo Geo type of game. And now there was hidden rumors out there that they had a console out there, and that's just from where I'm from, okay? I know everybody probably like knew about it, and it's like in certain books and stuff like that from Game Pro magazines and stuff like that. But at the same time, where I was at, it was just like, it was almost like a hidden rumor to where that they was just like, yo, this is this arcade console that's super duper expensive, and only way is to get that console, it's like overseas or something. And of course, I mean, I'd seen it, but I never saw it really too much up close until I got like older, and and they start, and I started being a collector, making this rounds and stuff like that. But it was one of those consoles that if you had one, automatically, just in my eyes, it was just like, you was the richest kid on the planet. For real, you was. If you had one, and that automatically you was done. I already knew that you out there riding around in Phantoms and stuff like that. You doing it big, popping chains and everything, because that was a console that was just so expensive to the point that and I forgot how much it was. I think during that point in time, it was like 600 or something. And that was a lot of money from back then. I mean, of course, like today, everybody's like, oh, 600 ain't that bad. Okay. Now, years later, as I started collecting, I ended up getting the Neo Geo Gold X console. If you guys don't know what that is, it's basically almost like a Switch. I mean, before the Switch came out, it was it's basically it's like the shell, and it had the handheld up in it and stuff like that. And then the games had like, it was like a SD card, and it had a bunch of games on it and stuff like that. Now, of course, Neo Geo came out with a bunch of other little setups and the little mini arcades, which I got the mini arcade, has some games on it, and that's pretty awesome. I think that everything Neo Geo has been doing is pretty awesome. And there's, of course, those are like the overseas boards that you can get and basically be able to play the original cartridge based looking like VCR tapes of the games, packed with just information and stuff like that to make those games really, really pop off. But they were just super expensive, and even this day, it's still crazy expensive. Now, with this coming out, and I just think that this is so much better for us as consumers to be able to now relive that moment, or at least for the first time for us that couldn't get that original console, to be able to pick up something like this and to play these games, and to experience popping in that giant cartridge. I mean, and that's so awesome. Now, they came out, the pre-orders, there's 3 types of pre-orders, and I'm gonna get into that in a second. Now, in this case right here, they remade some stuff, okay? And of course that what gets me is the fact is, I guess there's this new type of hardware, and they're using like what is called like a ASIC chip, which is a custom designed mod chip optimized for a single specific application. And I'm not going to get too much into technical aspects of it, but it's just awesome. However you guys are doing it, it's awesome. I mean, and this is no emulation. This is basically they relive in the moment of those 90s classics to play the original cartridges and these new made cartridges for us to be able to play all in HDMI format. And that's just so amazing. I'm a big fan, and I know that there's probably going to be concerns, this is not that, but everything that they build, it's always a concern. It's always something going on. It's always like something. Nothing's perfect for the world. I mean, that's just where I see it, because if you give somebody something today and you pull out something, somebody's going to be complaining. So whatever, it's fine. To me, it's awesome. I think this is a good go for this. And the fact is, now remember I told y'all about this, and I'm gonna get into that just a second, but let's talk about the pre-orders. There's 3 types of pre-orders that they have, okay? There's the regular Neo Geo AES, and that comes with just the console controller. I'm not gonna dig too much into it. This console controller, and I think it's a wired controller and stuff like that, all the hookups and stuff like that, but it's no game. And on American platform, it's basically $249, and that's actually really good comparison to the other ones that came out. And I just, that's super awesome. Now, if you find the Neo Geo CD, you might be able to get it for around that price range, and that's the original console, the CD part. That's still just awesome just to find that, because I mean, that's what I enjoyed the CD, the Neo Geo CD, more than I enjoyed the Neo Geo X Gold, because I was only confined to like a certain amount of games, and I was able to get more games way more easier on the CD than it was just more cheaper. So, and then like the second one, which is the one that I jumped on, is the Neo Geo AES Anniversary Edition. This comes with like a wireless controller. It comes with a game and stuff like that. I'm not going to dig too much in it. I think it comes with like a memory card and stuff like that. But that's the one that I ordered, and I thought, because I was like, why I didn't just get the whole combination with the game, and you know what I'm saying, and just, you know. And I also ordered the regular small controller, so the wireless small controller. I did pre-order that, and I ordered like 2, I think it was like 2 games or something like that. I think one of them is definitely Magician Lord, and I'm just, everything I'm saying, this is like just coming off the head. I'm just like, I know I ordered Magician Lord. Of course, there's Metal Slug, because that comes off already with the console itself. And then there was another one I did. I don't know if I did Art of Fighting or King of Fighters. I have to look it up. I forgot, but I know it was a definite tournament fighting game that I got. But I definitely got Magician Lord, and then there was another game that I did. Then there's some, I guess that's the expensive one, and this one comes with like basically all the games, the console, a wireless controller. It's basically a hookup in itself, and I feel like, you know what I'm saying, and that was about like $1,000 for that, but it's like in a nice box, it's all set up and stuff like that. And I think you go order that from the website itself and pre-order that, and you're getting like the whole setup. And I'm quite sure like the ball of YouTubers out there, they're probably gonna jump on that one, and they're gonna get that collector's edition, and then some of the other ones they're gonna jump on that big one, because you're getting the whole setup for, you know what I'm saying. And I think that that's not really a bad price. That's just my opinion. I just think that it's a really good price to jump on that. And so you know, I mean, and then in comparison to some of the, I mean, because like, just think, if you could find a regular Neo Geo AES console, I mean, last time I checked, it was still about like $700-800 for it. And then they got the other one. I think it's called the MVS. You guys tell me in the comments about the other ones, but I believe that you can find that one like overseas for about maybe like $400. It's still up there. And still you gotta find the games, which is about $500, $600. It's still, those games are pretty expensive. So, you know, and to me, coming out with stuff like this, just like they did, like, okay, like the analog 3D. I'm bringing these ones back in because I mean, myself, I'm starting to really enjoy some of the original games on these consoles that they're doing, and I mean, and discovering and enjoying them in HD format and how you want to get it with this and that, but you still have the option of basically still playing up on those original televisions, and you know, and get, or you can get like a CRT filter, and I don't know the specs and everything that's going to be up in this particular console itself for the Neo Geo, but just to think, and these are just dreams, these are just some of them, just my dreams and stuff like that. Hopefully, what if, I mean, to me, the way I look at it, Nintendo need to take notes. I was trying to go around it, but Nintendo need to take notes. Think about this for a minute. What if the NES, they did a remake of the NES? Nintendo did something to where you can play your original cartridges. That's not including Nintendo comes out with cartridges, new cartridges from like some of these new games that they have on the store that they have, and being able to buy some of those physical cartridges, or the Dreamcast that you can actually be able to play your original games. This would be, oh my goodness, this would be amazing. But Nintendo, that's one of the things right there. If Nintendo did something like that, oh my goodness. And I know you guys are gonna be like, well, we don't need this, we don't need that, and some people don't want the, I mean, of course there's an argument of statement when it comes down to it, but look, this is just me. I'm from the old school, I know, and I'm old man, whatever, but at the same time, I would love something like that, to see something that Nintendo actually did. And don't get me wrong, the classics with the games on it and stuff like that, those are the minis. Ain't nothing wrong with that. That was cool. We add games, or at the same time, well, people will be like, well, why do we need that? And we can go ahead and emulate the games and this is that and that, and play all the games for free. See, and that's the problem. That's the problem. And that's what I'm saying. There's nothing wrong with emulation. I'm all for it. But what if, you know what I'm saying? But there's still people out there that's still into the physical games, and I'm one of them. I like them both. I like the emulation. I like to play on my handheld and play all the games that I want to play. But at the same time, I like to go ahead and be able to go out there and buy games. I want to go online and buy games. I mean, and that's the fun part about it, especially like, and then the newer system has its own platform to where you can go buy your games and physical games or digital games and stuff like that. That's not including Steam and everything else. I mean, but the fact is, I would just love to see some of these remake games of these games that they have came out with, that's probably like 8-bit style, or if it was a Super Nintendo style came out, 16-bit style of these new games coming back out and being able to play on original consoles like that, to see like a remake of an HD, to buy a Nintendo game and maybe have like the ads inside and stuff like that. Those are just dreams. But Neo Geo is just like, I feel like just like the analog. Much respect to them. I mean, for real. And I talked about the analog because back in the day, I couldn't find no handheld. I was trying to pre-order one and it was always sold out. I mean, but this one is, and I got the Atari, the Atari Plus and stuff like that. I got this, and both of those is amazing. I love when they come back out to where you can play original games and how they do it. I'm not going to sit there and get into the technical parts of it. As long as when you pop the game up in there, it works. And that's just what I feel. This is bottom line. This is how I feel. And I mean, even the people that sitting up there like working up on like the Superstation and stuff like that, and I'm jumping on that too pretty soon. And that's going to be able to take like physical games, if I'm not mistaken, and stuff like that. So it's the work of the fans out there that's really just bringing this stuff back. And I'm all for it. I'm all for the fun. I'm all for the fun, you guys. But I know I yapped about this. I am excited. Let me know if in the comments of what you guys think, if Nintendo did come back out with a physical, like to where you could play physical games on a Nintendo. That would be kind of awesome. HD stuff like that, all that kind of good stuff, and just really just being able to play on these modern TVs, especially the Zapper, playing Duck Hunt or something like that, or Hogan's Alley. That would be, to me, that would be just awesome. I'm not gonna lie. And then you know, just seeing stuff like that, or the very, very slow Rob the Robot. Oh goodness, that would take me back. All right, enough of me yapping though. But is you guys getting the Neo Geo AES, or what do you guys think? You guys gonna hold off on it, or just gonna wait it out, or maybe that the fact is like that not many games? Just tell me what you think in the comments though. I'm very excited about it, and I just want to get some hype, you know what I'm saying? Everybody just get hyped up with me about this, and just seeing how this gonna fly out. All right, you guys, and from Gamer to Gamer, thanks for watching.